Great. It's nice to see you. Can you hear
Nice
me
to
well?
see you too. Yes, I can see you and hear you perfectly well.
Perfect. Are you are you finishing dinner? Yeah. Don't worry. I was about to make breakfast and then I'm like, no, I don't have time.
No, it's
It's
actually
nice.
dinner. It's a
Sorry.
little snack.
Okay.
It's a
Cool.
little piece of candy before dinner.
Nice. Okay. To hold you up. Yeah. So thanks for joining, everyone. We're going to be talking about how Ayurveda approaches skincare with Dimple here. Dimple, thank you for joining.
My pleasure. I'm so glad we could connect thanks to Instagram.
Me
If
too.
anything, making the world a smaller place and a happier place, I would say.
For sure, for sure. And we can share our common interests all together. Guys, Dimple is an Ayurvedic health counselor and Ayurvedic nutritionist based in Mumbai. Before she founded her preventative healthcare center called Prana, she's had many lives as in advertising, as a TV reporter, and as an investment banker in New York. She's now based in Mumbai, helping women and men approach their health and wellness from an Ayurvedic standpoint. And she leads the Prana Center now and also has a skincare line of products as well as other types of supplements and other types of products. So I encourage you guys to check it out. But Dimple, thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's questions about skin and for us to talk about Ayurvedic approach onto skincare.
It's my pleasure. Like I said, it's nice to see a growing community of people who are very aware and conscious of what's going on inside the body, what's going on around them in their environment and nature. It's not just about climate change, it's also about human evolution, right? You need to understand, respect this body because at the end of the day, it's just a piece of nature. It's made of only 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And you need to align it to the 5 elements in nature, in this planet and the universe. When you submit to the universe, when you submit to nature, it's not an act of submissiveness. It's in fact an act of conscious unity or dissolving back into the planet, because nothing can care for our body better than nature does. When we were born, we were made of the 5 elements in the purest form. And when we die, no matter how we're cremated, whether we are, buried or, burnt or fed to the vultures, doesn't matter how you're cremated.
Yeah.
Eventually, you go back to the 5 elements. You can't take the body anywhere with you. You dissolve back into earth, water, fire, air, space. So between birth and death, your body is marked by the presence of these 5 elements. And even if one element goes out of balance or is excess or out of whack, it causes diseases connected to that element. For example, too much fire could cause acidity, acid reflux, skin diseases, burning sensation, gut issues, and stomach issues. Knowing yourself at an elemental level is a form of Ayurvedic wisdom. And Ayurveda is basically a personalized science that allows you to design your diet and lifestyle in such a way that it can improve your longevity, your lifespan, and live a long, healthy, and a happy life. So anything that promotes longevity and contributes to a holistic way of living is technically Ayurveda. So it can be from any part of the world. It doesn't have to be called Ayurveda. It's still improving your life.
Yeah, you mentioned knowing yourself as at the elemental level, which I think is a really nice way to phrase it. You've gave an example of how we can experience an excessive fire with acidity, inflammation, just redness in the skin, for example. Can you give examples of how we experience the other elements, whether it's in our overall health and in our skin?
Yeah. Since we're talking about skin, let me explain to you how these elements play at the skin level. Perfect. Now, the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space, are not all equal. All of us have different proportions or combinations and permutations of these elements. For example, someone could be dominant in earth and water, and fire, air, and space is less in their body. So that's called a Kapha body type or an endomorph body type in modern language. And an endomorph body type would be someone who puts on weight easily and struggles to lose weight. They tend to be very thick because of earth and water. Now, the beauty of earth and water is the heaviest elements out of the 5. It gives you a lot of stability, density, structure, support to your body. So you have great bone structure, a large stocky frame, but your skin is really soft and smooth, baby soft, and you have great hair, dark, rich, thick hair.
The best skin.
Best skin, because that's baby soft, and babies have earth and water dominant skin.
Yeah.
So these people don't have to work too hard, you know, to get good skin and good hair. Very little moisturizing creams and lotions. They barely, like, you know, need any products on their skin. They're very lucky. The only disadvantage of being dominant in earth and water is that you put on weight easily and you struggle to lose weight. You have to work 3 times harder than your counterparts. And you'll be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I go to the gym every day and my weighing scale doesn't even ship 100 grams.
Yeah.
So that's the only drawback of being an endomorph body type. Then of course,
but from a skin perspective, you've got a lot of subcutaneous fat under your skin that makes it look plump and that hydrates it constantly.
Totally. That is one. And you know, Kapha, which is earth and water, is basically responsible for generating new tissues in your body, right? Mm-hmm. So it is responsible for converting the food you've eaten into digestive juices, the digestive juices into plasma, blood, muscle and skin. Then we have the adipose, or the lubricants in the body. Then we have the bones, teeth, nails, hair. Then we have the bone marrow and the central nervous system, the sperm and egg. That happens from the food you eat. And earth and water is responsible for nourishment of the body. Mm-hmm. Earth and water is a building block that builds these tissues: bones, muscles, tissues, teeth, nails, and hair. So you're constantly building new cells under your skin and hair. So even when you take a bath or shower, or, you know, go under the sun, or you're exposed to pollution, you lose thousands of cells per day, but your skin is quickly replenishing those dead cells with new, young, healthy cells, like children that are growing. So anyone with a Kapha body type or an endomorph body type is blessed with great skin. Yeah. So they can, you know, make us as envious as they want.
Yes.
Lucky day, right? So that's the first body type and the first skin type. The second skin type is my skin type, literally. It's when fire and water is more dominant in the body. Mm. Now, fire is responsible for all metabolic chemical transformations happening inside your body, like the food getting transformed into digestive juices. That transformation is due to the presence of fire in our body. And fire is present in our stomach, small intestine, blood, fat, skin, eyes, and sweat glands.
Yeah.
Since fire is present in blood, fat, skin, and all of these organs, when fire is excess, these are the organs or tissues that get the most affected. And skin is one among them. So anyone who's dominant in fire and water tends to have an oily T-zone. You know, the sebaceous glands releases a lot of sebum, that is one. And if the fire becomes a little excess, they're prone to acne, pimples, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, urticaria. And I've always had skin issues growing up as a child.
You always had what?
Skin issues growing up as a child. My skin was always one of the biggest insecurities of my body and my life, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize growing up, I was dominant in fire and water, and I was constantly eating spicy foods, oily foods, hot foods like, you know, capsicum, radish, onion, garlic, chilies, chili flakes. I was going heavy on spicy foods because I love that. Pickles, fermented foods. It gave me the kick, but that was really bad for the skin. The skin started burning up under the impact of those. And in fact, recently, a year ago, I contracted urticaria, which is a terrible skin disease caused due to food poisoning. And I was at an ashram in Rajasthan going for a spiritual break. And of all the places, I would expect least to be poisoned in an ashram. And it was accidental. It was not, any kind of foresight on anyone's part. Yeah, it could have been anything. You know, it could have been a piece of pineapple that I ate that had probably some pesticide in it. I don't know. It triggered chronic urticaria, and my skin, my face blew up. Got swollen completely. My chest and hands looked like someone dropped acid on it. It was on fire. It started blistering really bad and turning black. I couldn't even look in the mirror. Yeah, it was so scary. I couldn't look in the mirror. I couldn't wear fabric. I couldn't face people. I underwent a panchakarma treatment immediately, an Ayurvedic process of removing toxins out of the body through 5 steps. And within 2 weeks, we were able to pull the poison out of the body rather than letting it have a long-lasting, lifelong impact on me. So I was lucky. So Pitta people, or the mesomorph body type, have high sensitivity to skin issues. They need to have a very strict skincare regime every day. Exfoliate your dead skin cells, cleanse your skin, moisturize your skin, make sure the pH levels and the oil levels are perfect, because, you know, when you sleep at night and if you don't correct the pH levels or the oil levels in your skin, you wake up with a breakout, because sleeping on the pillow means constant contact with the fabric and the dust and the particles and all of that. So they need to have a very strict skincare regime, keep changing the pillow covers. They must have cooling products in their diet, not eat spicy, pungent foods or sour and salty foods. Even salty foods is not good for their skin. They must have foods that are sweet in nature, like, fruits, juicy fruits. Avoid the tangerine fruits. They must have bitter foods because that helps in purifying the blood, like bitter gourd or spinach or fenugreek, that helps in purifying the blood. They must also have astringent fruits in their diet, like berries and cherries and strawberries and apples, because that tightens the collagen and improves the elasticity of the skin and reverses the aging process. They tend to have chronic hair loss because of excessive pitta or excessive fire. So they must make sure, to use cooling shampoos and conditioners, maybe like an aloe vera shampoo, or, a homemade conditioner, or a hair mask made with yogurt and fermented rice water to wash the hair. That's a great way for them to keep their skin and hair in check.
Cool.
So that's
okay.
the second skin type.
Amazing. I've got tons of questions about the skin types, but please continue on the overview and then we'll deep dive even more. That's awesome.
All right. I'm loving this conversation simply because, growing up, I never thought I'd have anything to do with skin.
Yeah.
Or skin
yeah,
care.
you didn't think you could be an expert in anything skin? Yeah.
I was like, wait, skincare is the last thing on my list.
Yeah, I know. But usually when you've got a problem, you've got the incentive to actually solve it and to explore solutions.
Yeah, I thought the chances of me breeding cockroaches or geckos would be higher than taking care of people's skin.
That's funny.
So anyways, life comes as full circle. This is what I love about the universe. It teaches you lessons when you least expect it. It surprises you with abundance when you least ask for it, right? And whatever problems you faced as a child, you owe it to the world to solve that problem so that nobody else suffers from it. Like, that's simply my thumb rule. If you're suffering from something, solve it in such a way that the next person after you doesn't have to suffer.
That's sweet. I love that.
Yeah, that's literally like what I have been thriving on ever since I was hit by my existential crisis on what is my purpose, who am I, why do I exist? Those big questions that happen.
That a lot of us have.
And then we get lost in space. We feel like we're floating around in this infinity of space and time, and we're like, oh my God, bring us back to Earth. That's when this kind of work brings you back to Earth, because you feel like constantly giving back to the society and repaying back your karma and all the goodness you've received from the society.
Yeah, I think it's a nice guideline too. If a lot of people are wondering what are their purpose, why are they here even on Earth, especially in the mid 30s or when you get to closer to your 40s, or you've had time to have a career or at least to try a career out, and now you're kind of wondering like, okay, taking a step back in relation to your professional life, but also your personal life, friendships, love, relationships, and you're kind of being introspective and wondering like, is this direction the one I want to continue in, etc. So it's having that as an I think it's freezing a little bit. Can you hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Figuring out what are the key, or looking back at the problems that we've had, or the issues or the struggles we've lived through our childhood, and using that as a stem for identifying a purpose is a really nice method. I love that.
Yeah. And, if anything, like, I love that sentence you said, is this the direction I want to continue in? This is a question we need to ask ourselves literally every morning.
Yeah.
Am I happy with the way I'm proceeding today? And if the answer is yes, go ahead. If the answer is no for, say, any event that you want to attend or cancel, ask yourself this question. If it's not worth your time, if it's not a good investment, walk away. Walk away. Stop trying to please people. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to, seek validation from the society and from the community and from your friends and family and relatives, because that validation is not going to help you sleep at night. No. Purposeful. Yeah. Purposeful. And that's good to have, And
and it'll motivate you to get up at night, in the morning as well. Like that feeling of dragging your feet, like, just another kind of regular day. Can we go through? Okay, there's a question from Food Nature. She's asking, what's the best homemade shampoo for Kapha Pitta type? So the earth fire type. I have pain in my roots.
Oh, wow. Okay. I would recommend for this lady buttermilk, because Kapha is soft, but Pitta is fire, and that's probably causing pain in her roots. So you can just take 2 teaspoons of yogurt, dilute it in some water, and use that to wash your hair. Now, yogurt has active bacterial enzymes that cleanses the scalp of any kind of, fungal, bacterial infection, and also helps in releasing dandruff. If you have a lot of dandruff issues, you can also squeeze a little lemon into the yogurt and use that to apply it on your scalp. Leave it on for 4 to 5 minutes and then wash it off with plain water. That's all you need. It might have a greasy effect on the hair, but that's perfectly okay for a few days. If you don't like it, you can wash it off with an aloe vera shampoo because it's more cooling for a Pitta body type.
Yeah.
The second shampoo that I usually recommend to people is fermented rice water. Absolutely gentle for cleansing the hair. Many women in China have used fermented rice water for thousands of years, and they have dark, rich, beautiful, thick hair until the very last years of their lives.
How do you make fermented rice water?
So it's easy. Like, you take a big bowl, put some rice, put some water, cook the rice, make sure there's a lot of water in it. And when the rice is fully cooked, you take a teaspoon to check if it's cooked. Then you drain off the excess water, just like how you drain off the water from pasta.
Yeah. And you
Drain
keep
off
that
the excess-
water.
That's the water that you use, and you can keep it overnight so that it ferments even more, and use that to wash your hair the next morning. It has an absolutely, what do you call, parlor kind of an effect on your hair. Your hair is like soft and shiny, rich and straight and thick. It's just that it takes a little effort. And I know I've been excusing myself from that effort for the last few days. It's time to get back. Do a good hair mask, do a good shampoo, do a good conditioner. The homemade hair mask and conditioners literally make your hair 10 times more softer, shinier than a store-bought, chemically formulated shampoo. 10 times softer, I'm not kidding you. All it requires from you is the patience of dough bird. Sit quiet for 1 hour when you apply the hair mask, read a book, do some errands at home. It's an investment that you must make at least once.
What are examples of hair masks that we can make for these three main types?
Okay. So these are some of my favorite hair masks, but before I jump to that, the third skin type I want to cover quickly.
That's mine.
So that it quickly fits in the remedies, is the Vatta skin type, where air and space is more dominant in your body, and it's called the ectomorph body type. They rarely put on weight, they struggle to put on weight, but because of air and space and the dryness that comes with these two elements, they tend to have very dry, rough skin and dry, rough, frizzy hair. Like even I have slight Vata imbalance, wherein if I don't take good care of myself, my hair will start getting frizzy, and that means my Vata is out of balance.
Okay.
Even a little bit of frizz means something's wrong inside the body. These people need to have a lot of greasy foods in their diet. Believe me, deep fried foods are a blessing for these people.
Yeah.
Foods deep fried in good fat oils, however, like avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil. You can use any of these cold pressed oils that is organic and not refined, because refined oil causes leaky gut syndrome. This is a great way of introducing good fat in your body that lubricates your joints, muscles, tissues, teeth, nails, and hair, and keeps your body supple and soft from inside. Otherwise, Vata Prakriti tend to have a very dry, rough digestive tract, which also leads to chronic constipation issues, overthinking, dryness, roughness, irregular metabolism. The plus, of course, of being a Vata is that, you have creativity, you have great thinking capabilities, you can adapt very quickly to environments, you understand things very quickly. Vata people are generally very creative, like they're the writers, artists, poets, and all of them. Their skin gets dry and rough, so they need a lot of grease even on their skin. They need oil-based creams, and they need ghee literally on their skin. You can literally take 1 teaspoon of ghee and massage it all over your face, leave it on for 20 minutes, and rinse it off when you take a warm shower. It's excellent.
Yeah, that's my go-to. I love it.
And that explains why your skin is glowing so much.
But I always have like dry, chapped lips, and I put ghee and eat like healthy fats a lot because I'm aware of that. But I feel like it's even in the summertime, I've got chapped lips. I'm like, come on. It's very hard to find the balance, right?
Yeah. In fact, I would suggest something to you for chapped lips. You have cocoa butter, ghee, shea butter. These are excellent for chapped lips. And what you can do is, you can massage your lips first with some good fat oil like avocado oil or coconut oil, and then dip your finger in some sugar crystals and scrub your lips. It peels off an entire layer of dead skin cells, number one.
Yeah.
After this, you moisturize your skin with cocoa butter or shea butter. They're excellent. They're rich. They're anti-inflammatory also. They prevent the dryness of the skin and the excess heat under the lips as well. So that's another thing that you can do. Ghee is excellent for your skin, and for your hair, you need a lot of good fat for your hair, like yogurt, buttermilk. You can make a lot of yogurt hair masks. These are some of my favorite recipes.
Okay.
If you have dandruff, you can take a bowl of yogurt and squeeze an entire lemon in it. apply it on your hair, leave it on for 60 minutes, and then rinse it off. So yogurt and lemon is a great hair mask for dandruff. If you tend to have a lot of hair loss, which is common for Pitta Prakriti, the mesomorph body type who have excess fire, they can take yogurt, add 1 teaspoon of honey, squeeze a little lemon, and add a little olive oil. Honey cleanses the scalp and also is astringent in nature, tightens the pores, the hair roots. And olive oil does the same thing, it tightens the hair roots. So it prevents hair loss, chronic hair loss.
Amazing.
If you tend to have oily hair, which is endomorph body type or the Kapha body type, you can actually take a bowl of yogurt and add a pinch of baking soda to it because baking soda strips away the excess oil from your hair.
Love it.
So that's another thing you can do.
And if you've got premature gray, I've got like a lot of gray under.
You know, premature graying happens due to low iron levels or low hemoglobin in the body, which happens very quickly for Vatta Prakriti and even Pitta Prakriti sometimes. You must increase your intake of iron in your body. So spinach, cilantro, moringa or the drumstick, fenugreek, apples, by the way, red apples and green apples are a great way of getting your iron levels up and also preventing your hair from turning dark. And you know, curry leaves, which is an Indian staple leaf we use in all our tadkas. If you can dehydrate the curry leaves when it's seasonally available under the sun, make a powder out of it. Use 1 teaspoon of the curry leaf powder in a bowl of rice with some ghee and have this just before having a big lunch. It's a great way of preventing premature graying of the hair. And also, by the way, reversing the graying process.
Ooh, I like that. Naturally. Can we go into kind of regular or daily skincare routines for each of those constitutions, starting with Pitta or fire? Yeah.
For Pitta, like I said, you know, cleansing, exfoliating, moisturizing. These are 3 things that you must do every day. I have a ritual, you know, sometimes I take cold pressed coconut oil, massage it all over my face and use my fingers. You know, a lot of people are doing face yoga nowadays to make sure, you know, they always look young and beautiful. Another thing that you can do is face massage. Face massage is a great way of stimulating blood circulation. Use your fingertips. It stimulates blood circulation and it improves the texture of your skin, the elasticity of your skin, the collagen improves, your skin is able to breathe. A lot of people with oily skin tend to refrain from oil massages, thinking that it's going to make it worse. And it's actually a misconception. What do you use to clean grease? You use oil to clean grease. When there's excess grease in the car engine or, you know, machinery, you use oil to cleanse it off. You can't use water. So water doesn't cleanse oily skin. It's oil that cleanses oily skin.
So we should use an oil-based cleanser then for fire-type skins?
Ideally, unless if your fire is too much, then you're already breaking out. In that case, you don't use oil-based. Use ghee-based. Ghee helps in cooling down the fire under the skin. Oil would be like putting oil into the fire.
Got it. Okay.
So oil-based creams may not be the best advice. I would rather advise that you take coconut oil or almond oil, massage it all over your face, leave it on for 5 minutes, and then use a dry cloth, a rag cloth, or a cotton pad, and just wipe it clean. Wipe off the excess oil. When you wipe off the excess oil, it also cleanses your pores of blackheads, whiteheads, dust particles, pollution, and excess oil that has been released by the sebaceous glands. So it's a great way of cleansing.
You're saying you can use coconut oil on your face if you've got the Pitta fire constitution. You apply it and massage it on your skin and then wipe it with a wet rag and that's it?
Yes. And then you can do steam if you want to open up your pores and cleanse it again. I love doing an exfoliation with homemade mask. There are a couple of ingredients that I would suggest, which is great for all 3 skin types in different recipes and combinations. Use a base product first. The base product could be gram flour powder, which is very common. Gram flour is like literally yellow in color. Then you have the green.
It's flour of what? Ground what?
It's called the horse gram.
Okay.
It's called chana in Hindi.
Okay.
I don't know how to call it.
I'll
chickpea.
Google it. Okay.
It's a roasted chickpeas. I'm sorry. It's a roasted
okay,
chickpea.
Great, yeah. Okay.
You can make a powder out of it, put it in a blender and make a powder out of it. Roasted chickpeas are brown in color on the outside and yellowish inside. They're an excellent cleansing agent, but they may have a drying effect for some skin type. So you can take either roasted chickpea powder or you can take green mung dal powder. Okay. Green mung dal powder is great for sensitive skin.
Okay.
Either of the two. And if you have very sensitive skin or dry skin, you can even take oatmeal. You can take oat powder. It is loaded with rich fat.
That's true.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
You take any of these base ingredients for exfoliation, add a teaspoon of yogurt. Yogurt is great. Or you can even add milk. Yogurt is great for dry skin. Unboiled milk is great for oily skin because it helps in cleansing and helps in preventing tanning of the skin. It helps in detanning the skin. You can also put rose water if you tend to have a lot of open pores.
Yeah. So,
okay, so this is a binding agent.
Okay.
So you got the base ingredient, which is either chickpea powder or you have the green mung dal powder. And then you put a binding agent, which could be yogurt, milk, or rose water.
And this is for a Pitta fire constitutions, right?
Yeah. So yogurt is great for Vatta. Milk is great for Pitta. And rose water is great for Kapha.
Okay.
Okay. And then you can add a little turmeric to this concoction. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory. It kills all kinds of bacteria and virus in the skin and kills all the germs, makes your skin more healthy and radiant. And you can squeeze a little lemon or add orange powder to it.
And if you add turmeric powder to it, it's not going to tint you. You know, when you cook with turmeric root, your fingers are all orange, but it's not going to be the same if you put it into ground format, right?
If it's not a good quality one, it will.
Okay. So make sure you buy a quality one.
Exactly. Make sure you buy organic ones which are not colored artificially. That's one. Turmeric, when added in a small quantity, is stabilized when you use it with yogurt and milk and rose water. Turmeric with gram flour, when you just add a pinch of it, it's totally fine. When you overdo it, then it has a discoloring effect on your nails and your skin.
Okay.
If you're afraid of turmeric, you can just use lemon squeezed in it or even orange powder. That will also help because lemon helps in detoxifying and lightening the tissues. And orange powder also has the same effect because it's tangerine. Turmeric basically is anti-inflammatory and it's excellent for those who are suffering from skin issues like psoriasis and eczema. Not urticaria though. Urticaria is already heaty. But for psoriasis and eczema, it's an excellent ingredient to use in your daily skincare routine.
The orange or the turmeric?
The turmeric.
Okay. Interesting. And okay, so that's for exfoliation, correct? And then you talked about rebalancing the pH levels. Can you tell us about why that's important for a Pitta constitution?
So any skin type, okay, this is the rule for any skin type. Now the exfoliator that we spoke about was 3 different recipes for 3 different skin types, right? All of us have different levels of oils in our skin, right? We need that oil or the sebum that has been released by the sebaceous glands to act as a protective barrier for our skin and to prevent our skin and our organs from losing too much moisture to the air outside, to the dry air outside, okay? So that's basically a way of protecting your skin and even your organ health. And dry, rough skin usually leads to irritability, restlessness, and anxiety sometimes, because your body is very uncomfortable. After you've done exfoliating, the mask that I said, some people apply it, scrub it well, and wash it off in a shower. Some people leave it on for 30 minutes. Some people let it dry, and once it's dried, they actually scrape it off with their hands because that scraping effect exfoliates a whole layer of dead skin cells. After you're done with that, you've exposed your skin. You've exposed baby soft skin. The top layer of the skin is gone. Now you need to moisturize it and protect that layer. And there's many ways of doing it, okay?
Sorry about that. The exfoliation mask that you just mentioned, that's not a daily practice, correct?
For people who have
sensitive skin,
who can't do face wash, like for example, I have very sensitive skin. And if I don't have access to my products, and if I use a face wash, my skin is going to break out. So I could literally use this every day. Okay. But for those who feel like the skin is very thin, especially Vatta people have a very thin skin type, maybe not for them on a daily basis. They can instead use honey to cleanse their face.
Interesting. Okay. With water.
1 teaspoon of honey for Kapha and Vatta, not for Pitta, because Pitta has heaty skin and honey can cause it to become hotter. Kapha and Vatta can just take frozen honey. Okay, just freeze honey, it becomes nice and granular. Take half a teaspoon and scrub it all over your face. The scrubbing effect starts melting the honey and it starts cleansing all your pores. It gives you nice, soft, supple, clean skin when you wash it off. You can literally feel your skin breathe.
I love that. Yeah, I've heard about that a lot. I've never tried it, but I will.
Sorry,
I interrupted about the balancing the pH levels. Go for it. So,
all right. So there are a couple of ways of doing that. One is, of course, my favorite, which is your favorite ritual too, applying ghee on the skin. Ghee is like a magic ingredient from Mother Nature. It just simply knows what to fix. If you have a scar or a burn or an itch or sensitive skin or psoriasis or eczema or pimples or acne or dry skin or oily skin, you can just apply ghee. Ghee somehow just knows how to balance it.
Okay, it's a universal solution. I love it.
Literally, it's like this one go-to solution. I'm not kidding you. Of course, all of us love wearing makeup sometimes. But me, I wear makeup almost every day, a little bit at least. And when I want to take off my lipstick, I'm very careful to not swallow it while I'm eating food because it leads to a lot of fibroids in the uterus. I would literally take a drop of ghee on tissue and wipe my lips. I use it as a cleanser. And when I wipe my lips clean, not only has the lipstick been completely removed, my lips feel soft and supple. They're not dry and chapped because of whatever ingredients there are in your cosmetics.
And I feel like also ghee maybe seeps through the skin more than oil. So someone asked, can we use sesame oil for a full body massage, which I do. And the answer is yes, correct?
Yes.
It depends on your
Excellent.
constitution, I'm assuming, but because it could be
Sesame oil
heating.
is great for Kapha and Vatta, not for Pitta because Pitta is very hot. In fact, in Ayurveda, we have ritual where we do foot massage with sesame oil every night before going to sleep because it keeps your body warm and makes you fall asleep faster. So you can do a sesame oil massage for your full body. For your Kapha Vatta, it'll help you keep warm. It'll help you even lose a little weight if you want. But for Pitta,
Amazing.
maybe coconut oil.
Yeah. But yeah, I was saying the ghee feels like it seeps through the skin more than sometimes the oil, and maybe because I'm a Vata air constitution, but I feel like sometimes the oil just stays on the surface and it creates a protective layer, but I don't feel like it hydrates, but maybe it's psychological.
No. You're right about it. Ghee
Okay.
somehow is like food for your skin. And let me tell you something. This is an interesting fact. I love how many areas of the skin we're actually covering today. The
Yeah,
scientific
there's a
part,
lot. Yeah.
the Ayurvedic part, and the rituals and everything. Your skin is the largest organ of your body. A full-grown adult has 3.6 kilograms of skin, and it's not vanity to take care of your skin. Your skin is a visual representation of your physical health. It literally represents the health of different organs. For example, this is the small intestine, this is the large intestine, stomach, lungs, stomach, and kidneys and all of this, right? It represents what's happening inside your body. That's one. Your skin is not just the largest organ, it's also continuously breathing and absorbing everything that you apply on it. It's breathing every single second and it's absorbing what you apply on it. 75% of the products you apply on the skin gets absorbed through the pores, the sweat pores, enters the bloodstream and gets recirculated to your different organs, thus causing a lot of organ health issues. Which is why my thumb rule for skincare is, if you can eat it, apply it on your skin. Otherwise, don't. Put it back on the shelf. When you buy a product, literally, this is what I would do. I would look at the ingredients and I would say, okay, can I eat this? Can I eat this? If the answer is yes, great, I'm taking it home. If the answer is no, put it back.
And that applies for skincare and makeup altogether, because it's what you eat actually goes through the digestive system, and the liver filters out some of the gunk. But what you put on your skin goes directly to your bloodstream without any filter. So it's even more important.
Very true, very true. That's in fact one of the reasons I launched my skincare range recently, about 2 months ago. And I never thought about it, aggressively, but we just had so many clients constantly telling us, okay, the diet is great, the medicines is great, the treatment's great. What do I do about the skin? We're like, oh, just go buy, some organic skincare range. And we just started giving them so many recipes and advice. We said, how about we just bottle it and give it? This is the tagline I have. If you were stuck on an island and had no food to eat, you can take my product, cook it in water and eat it. You will survive the story.
Love it.
Because it's edible, handcrafted, made with kitchen ingredients, Ayurvedic formulas, plant-based, not tested on animals, no colors, no additives, no preservatives, no binding agents and gels. All my products are in dry, dehydrated powder form that you actually have to take in a bowl, add some water or rose water or milk or yogurt, make a mask, and then wash your face with it. You have to make your face wash every morning to wash your face.
So it becomes a ritual.
Yeah, and that little effort goes on to show that you're committed to the process of taking care of your skin, number one. Number two, you're not giving in to gimmicks. You're not just giving into the soapy
gimmicks. Yeah.
All these face wash ads, they show a lot of soapy bubbles and, oh, look how clean I feel. Well, what it also does is it strips your skin away of natural oils. You're first stripping away your skin and your scalp with natural oils by using harsh chemical-based shampoos and harsh face wash. And then you're using artificial conditioners and moisturizing creams to put artificial oils into
moisture back into your skin. Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. Why would you take away what nature has created and put back something that was made inside a laboratory? You and I were not created in a laboratory. We were created in the womb of Mother Nature.
I
and
love
only
that.
Mother Nature can fix us.
Questions around ghee. A lot of people are asking, where do I find ghee? I'm assuming I buy mine from Banyan Botanicals in the US. It's ghee with some herbs into it. But I'm assuming that your brand Prana makes a ghee that you can apply on your skin. A lot of people are asking, can we buy store-bought ghee that we use for cooking? Can you tell us a little bit about, since it seems like a universal solution that people might start to include in their routine? We'd love to know where to find it.
I'm tempted to start an animal rescue farm where I have a lot of cows and I can produce, enough milk to make ghee for all the clients who keep asking. Unfortunately, I'm not in it yet. My grandfather is. He does have like a rescue farm with like 300 or 500 cows and buffaloes.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the milk there tastes delicious because the cows are so happy. I don't have access to that, but what I would suggest is whatever ghee you buy for cooking is perfectly safe for the skin. What is fit for oral consumption is perfect for your skin consumption. And like, you said, it directly enters the bloodstream, unlike the food that goes through the liver. So here you have to be very careful with your skincare products. That's one. Second, you can just make sure that it's organic, cruelty-free from an animal-friendly rescue farm, if possible, because that way you're giving back to the society and the community and you're not building any bad karma. That's one. If you don't have access to ghee, you can make ghee at home. It's a slightly long process. You boil the milk, you collect the butter from the top of the milk, you keep collecting that butter, you ferment it overnight with a little bit of yogurt, and next morning you put a lot of ice cubes in it, blend it in a blender, and then the butter gets collected on the top, whipped butter, then you have to melt it to make ghee. That, of course, is the most authentic form of having ghee. Yeah. And then we also have something called the 100-washed ghee, where you turn around with a stone 100 times and keep washing the ghee of all kinds of heavy metals or toxins that might be part of the food process. The 100-washed ghee is the purest form of ghee. Now that requires you to sit down and turn around.
Yeah, okay. I won't be doing that. I wish I could, but no. So that means that we basically have two ghees at home, one in our bathroom and one in our fridge.
Yes, and the same source. Let it be the same source. What you're willing to eat, put it on your skin. And luckily, the beauty of international markets is the world has become a global village. Everything is available around the world. There are a lot of these Indian shops like Patel Brothers, and in fact, every part of the world has a little India. You can just go to, buy some spices and herbs and ghee, stock up on it. And ghee is fermented, so it actually becomes healthier with age. You can stock up on ghee 2 years in advance and continue consuming it. It's fermented.
And you don't need to store it in the fridge. You can store it in your cabinet in your bathroom, correct?
Exactly. In fact, do not store it in the fridge. It's unhealthy to store it in the fridge because when you freeze it and then defreeze it, you lose a lot of nutrients. You must always keep it in the room temperature. Ghee and honey are two investments that you can buy in advance and keep.
I love that. Charming is asking, can we use wheat and milk to remove dead skin every day?
Yes, you can. That sounds like an excellent recipe, and it sounds like it came from your mother or your grandmother, who was sensible enough to tell you what to do. Wheat is an excellent cleansing agent. It's soft, it's mild. You can mix it with milk and scrub your face. In fact, we use it for children as well.
Amazing. A question around, I use coconut to remove the makeup and my lipstick. Is that okay? It is okay, since we mentioned that. There was a question around skin pigmentation, like sun marks. I forget where it is, but how do you remove tanning and get an even skin tone? And like, how do you work on sun marks that you have? Is there any way to soften them? How would you do it from an Ayurvedic perspective?
So the one ingredient that works like magic for tan skin is raw milk. You can just take raw milk before you boil. And sorry, I was just plugging in to make sure that my light doesn't switch off. Just take raw, unboiled milk, apply it all over your face, leave it on for a few minutes and wash it off with plain water. Do this 2 to 3 times a day, morning and evening before bedtime. It's a great way of removing tan. That's one. Second is if you have uneven pigmented skin because of excessive exposure to the sun, then your skin could do with white potato juice. You take a raw white potato, blend it, strain the juice off, and use that juice to even out your skin.
And you just apply the juice like you apply a serum or something?
Yes, only on the uneven part, because remember, white potato is astringent in nature. It has a drying effect on your skin. After that, you must ensure to moisturize with either ghee or any oil-based cream that has a lot of good almond oil or shea butter or cocoa butter in it. So make sure you moisturize your skin well. Detanning is very easy also with lemon, but lemon is a bit harsh. It's acidic in nature. Of course, when you mix it with water, it starts alkalizing in nature. You could use the mask that I said, the face mask, which is basically an uptan. Uptan means a dry powder mix. You can use chickpea flour, add some turmeric, some lemon juice to it, and some yogurt, and use that as a hair mask, a face mask to lighten your skin and to detan. So even that works wonders.
Okay, and the raw white potato juice, is that like a twice daily practice as well, or?
Maybe 2 to 3 times a week, not more,
Okay.
because it has a drying effect and you might not enjoy that feeling.
Yeah.
White potato juice is also excellent for dark circles, by the way. Works wonders.
That you just kind of apply under your eye?
Yeah.
Amazing. Love it. Can we use saffron on the face?
Yes, with caution, because saffron is heaty. You use only one strand of saffron in a concoction of milk or yogurt and use it to cleanse your face or use it as a face mask. It lightens the skin, but excessive saffron can cause your skin to turn green. We actually give it to pregnant. We actually give it to pregnant mums, to give the child healthy skin, glowing, bright skin. But too much of it can cause the fetus to turn green. So the same rule applies to your skin. Don't overdo it. Use it with caution.
Okay,
It's an
amazing.
expensive herb for a reason.
It is, yeah. I had a lot of questions, and there's one here too, around how do you reduce the pore size? So a lot of Pitta folks or fire constitutions have messaged me around, I used to have acne, now I have either scars or larger pores, or I just happen to have larger pores, whether I'm Kapha or Pitta. What are some things that you would suggest doing?
You want some kind of
like either skincare practice to help reduce the size of your pores, to just tighten.
Okay, you need a lot of astringent ingredients. You know, astringent foods have a drying effect in your mouth. When you have like pomegranate or a blackberry, it dries up your mouth. You need to use a lot of products that are loaded or made with fresh berries like raspberry, cherries, strawberries, gooseberries. Even amla, the Indian gooseberry, is excellent. You can even have green apple, red apple, strawberries, and pomegranate. You can make a fruit mask out of these and apply it on your skin. It has an astringent effect. Of course, this is an expensive fruit mask, so you probably want to do it once a week or twice a month. At least you don't want to waste away too much fruit. Another way of doing this is every time you eat a fruit salad or have a fruit, take the skin, dehydrate it, blend it, make a powder out of it, and keep it for your face mask. The skin has as much nutrients as the fruit itself. Another favorite thing of mine that helps close the pores is rose water. You just take a few drops of rose water every day in the morning, and after you're done like cleansing and exfoliating your skin, you just apply rose water to close the pores, and then you moisturize your skin. That's one of my favorite methods. And using rose water regularly every single day for even 21 days, you'll see amazing results on your skin.
Yeah, and it's very easily accessible in health food stores, and you can spray it on your face or put it on a cotton. That's really easy, correct?
I love splashing rose water on my face. That cooling effect is fantastic.
Yeah, I do that in the summertime. There's also witch hazel, right? That's like super astringent, so that at least in the US is easy to find. I'm not sure if in India you guys use that, but.
Which one? The rose water?
No, the witch hazel is another alternative.
Oh yes, yes. Although it's a slightly more expensive option here in India, witch hazel.
Okay.
Compared to rose water.
Yeah. Okay. how about moving on to, let me see if there are questions to see, what do we do for dark circles? You already talked about the raw potato juice. Are there other things we can do to minimize the dark circles?
You could use grated cucumber juice. That's also excellent for reducing dark circles. In fact, I'm going to make one today, apply it on my eyes and go to sleep tonight. That's excellent. It helps in reducing the puffiness and the water retention. White potato juice. Third is rose water. Applying rose water on your eyes reduces the pitta or the fire in your eyes and thus lightens dark circles. Using almond oil to massage your eyes. That's also great. And applying kajal under your eyes every morning. A kohl pencil is also great for opening up your eyes. That also helps in reducing dark circles.
Love it. Can we talk about psoriasis or any sort of like redness and like small veins? And there's I received a lot of questions of people with probably Pitta constitutions that have very rosy cheeks, and they usually have bloodshot eyes as well. And like they used to have acne. Like what are things that from a diet perspective or from a lifestyle and skincare perspective, what are things we can do to manage psoriasis? Or any sort of red inflammation.
You know that the redness comes from excess heat in the body, so you must reduce the heat. These are two things you can do. One is tender coconut water.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Fresh tender coconut water. Yeah. Go ahead. So while she comes back, I'm happy to explain. Any other questions that you guys
Sorry,
have?
guys.
There you are.
Go ahead.
You just left the live. Sorry, guys.
There's just my heater is super loud, so I had to shut it off. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was hoping you'd come back, because it'd be really awkward for me to talk to below.
I should have warned you, yes. I always come back. Sorry about that.
No, this is really cute. I love this conversation. I love how it's going. So I was explaining tender coconut water. If you live in the coastal areas, you have access to fresh tender coconut water. You can have one every day in the morning, empty stomach. It's magical in reducing pitta imbalance, and it also helps in alkalizing your stomach. And cancer cannot exist in an environment that's alkaline. That's one thing you can do.
That's for all constitutions or specifically for fire?
Only pitta. Only pitta. People with excess fire. Kapha shouldn't have tender coconut water every day because it makes them put on weight. Vatta can have tender coconut water with a little lemon squeezed in it because it helps in calming them down. It's good fat that they can do with, right? There's another thing you can do. You can take sabja seeds. You've all heard of sabja seeds. 1 teaspoon of sabja seeds.
Now, what are those?
It's actually similar to chia seeds, but not exactly like chia seeds.
Okay.
Sabja seeds are available in the Indian subcontinent. You just take 1 teaspoon, soak it in 1 glass of water overnight. Next morning when you wake up, it gets swollen like little oyster eggs.
Okay.
It gets swollen. It has like this little layer of, transparent layer around it, and there's a black seed inside. It absorbs a lot of moisture from the water, and when you drink the seeds along with the water, it helps in reducing the fire in the stomach. It's great for your skin also because, your pitta imbalances go down dramatically. Your acne, pimples, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, urticaria can dramatically reduce by consuming this.
Amazing.
And apply ghee on your face. Ghee is a great way of reducing the fire in your skin. Don't use oil-based products. Stay away from hot, oily, pungent, spicy foods, sour foods like, tangerine fruits, lemon, tomato, tamarind, and even salty foods is not good for your skin.
Amazing. Thank you for doing that.
Oh yeah, Sumati Bali just corrected us. Sabja sweet basil seeds.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Thank you. Anything for hair dryness?
Yeah. Dry frizzy hair. You can use a bowl of yogurt, crush an entire strawberry in it. It'll actually reduce the dryness and frizziness of your hair. You can also use a hair mask with yogurt, honey, and olive oil. That also helps in reducing the dryness of your hair. Strawberry and yogurt actually gives a nice shine to your hair. Yogurt, honey, and olive oil helps in reducing the dryness and the frizziness of your hair and makes it nice and straighter. And if you have thin hair, you can use a bowl of yogurt, crush an entire banana in it, and use it as a hair mask. That helps in giving nice volume to your head, makes your hair nice, thick, and strong.
Oh, I love that. And how often do you suggest doing those hair masks? Like weekly or?
Yeah, weekly. I haven't done it in a while, so it's time for me to get back into the kitchen.
Yeah. I have a lot of experimenting to do. I love this. Dark scar treatment, is that similar to sun pigmentation that we talked about earlier with the white potato and juice and
So
the cucumber juice and stuff, or no?
you can use cucumber juice and potato juice for pigmented skin. For dark scars, which usually happens due to pimples or some kind of a skin injury that you might have had, I would recommend tea tree oil. Just take 1 drop of tea tree oil, apply it directly on the affected area, or massage it all over your face with a base oil like coconut oil, and leave it on overnight. That's an excellent way of treating scars. I had a lot of scars from my teenage years of
Yeah.
pimples, and for some reason I chanced upon tea tree oil, and I kept applying 1 drop of it all over my face for like a few weeks, and my face cleared up a great deal. Like all the scars were gone.
Is
And you
that
need
what we
less
can
makeup
do?
when that happens.
Sorry?
You need less makeup when that happens.
Yeah. Which is wonderful. That's what we're all striving for. But tea tree oil isn't applied directly on the skin, right? You have to have a carrier like coconut oil or something else, correct?
Yes, ideally a base oil, but I somehow loved the feel of tea tree oil, so I used it directly on my skin. It's not advisable because it can burn your skin in the long run.
Yeah.
Always use 1 drop of tea tree oil, 1 drop of coconut oil in equal proportions. Never apply essential oil in your skin directly.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that something we can do for, in the era of wearing masks all the time? I started, even if I'm a Vatta constitution, I usually never have acne, but I've started having a lot of white bumps or small bumps or like really deep rooted things. Is tea tree oil kind of a preventative thing we can apply before we put a mask, or not really?
Oh God, mask acne is becoming so annoying.
Yeah.
I've not had acne
Uh,
in years now, and thanks to the mask, exactly where the fabric touches, you have a bunch of acne. And this is usually because of the dust particles from the air that keep rubbing onto your skin and into it. One thing you can do is, as soon as you come home, steam and cleanse your pores. Steam with a big bowl of hot water. You can add a few drops of eucalyptus oil if you want. Kill all the bacteria and germs in the face region, cleanse your pores, open up your pores, and wipe it off with a dry cloth. That's the first thing you do.
So if you steam,
Second,
you don't start poking. You just steam and then put coconut oil or a cleanser, and then you're done, correct?
yeah. So, after you steam, you take a cloth and just wipe off the dirt from your skin. That is one. Second, you moisturize your skin. You can use, coconut oil or ghee or shea butter or cocoa butter to moisturize your skin. Before you moisturize your skin, you can also close your pores using something astringent like a rose water, or even raw milk. That's a great way of closing the pores, and then you moisturize your skin. This is an excellent way of constantly keeping your skin clean. Wear a new mask every day.
Yeah.
Keep changing it, keep washing it. It's exhausting, I know, sometimes, because every day you step out of the house with a mask and you're like, okay, let me just wear it. It's a cloth mask. What's the worst thing that can happen? But they cause abrasion of the skin. So ghee massage, that's a great way of reversing skin damages.
I love it. Let me see. There's a lot of questions. Can we steam our face daily?
I have been doing it daily during the COVID era, like especially because if I've come from the outside, it helps in opening up the lungs. But it can aggravate your aging process. Remember, icing the skin prevents and reverses aging process. Excessive steam can cause your pores to open up very quickly, and it might accelerate your aging process. So don't get addicted to it. It's very easy to get addicted to it. It's very comforting, right? Steaming.
Yeah, it is for sure. It's a very pleasant experience. Can we use olive oil as a carrier oil?
Yes, you can. It's great. In fact, Jennifer Lopez swears by olive oil. She uses olive oil for everything, skin, for hair, literally for everything. Her favorite ingredient to go to is olive oil. And her skincare range, she talks so fondly about the importance of olive oil. And in India, we talk about the importance of coconut oil. It's just regional. Remember that not one oil is better than the other oil. It depends on which region you live in.
And so if we're in the West and we're closer to Italy and Europe, which is or even California, where olive oil is more prominent than ghee.
Yes.
Is that something we should be using more than ghee then, or no?
Ghee is a universal product. Like, it's not debatable, and anybody and everybody from around the world should have ghee in their kitchen. When I say use local oils, I mean it more for cooking and for cleansing the skin. Like, if you're cooking food, always use cold pressed oil that has been regionally grown locally sourced and manufactured. That's a better way of introducing good bacteria into your gut. Do not have imported oils. Like, in India, people are crazy about olive oil, but olive oil is not even native to our country. You shouldn't be having it. Coconut oil is, sesame oil is, almond oil is, ghee is, right? So use something that's locally sourced and more suitable for your climatic conditions, for your skin and oral consumption.
Love it. We have 2 minutes, but one maybe last question around how do you deal with, okay, let me just read some of the questions. Sorry, that was mine. In a Pitta Pakuti, can we eat bajra, papaya, pineapple? I mean to say hearty fruits and grains.
In a Pitta Prakriti, can we eat bajra, papaya? Not at all.
Like heating foods.
Like all the heaty foods. Bajra is heaty. It's a millet. It's usually not suitable for Pitta, but you can eat it between December 15 to Jan 15, the coldest 30 days of the year. Your body can digest it. Papaya is again heaty, but it's a great food. It's excellent, for your overall health and immunity. So you might have it once in a few days. Pineapple, if it's sweetened, is excellent. Sweetened pineapple is excellent. But the other two, eat with caution.
Are too heating. If someone's got small red bumps in the face because they waxed, is there anything they can put on for reducing the small red bumps?
Ghee. And use only yogurt to cleanse your face for some time. Avoid any heaty products like honey or face mask or face wash, that have chemicals in it, because they're going to cause abrasion of the skin. So just use ghee to first heal the skin, and then start using yogurt or raw milk to wash your face.
I love it, Dimple. I think there's not enough time to answer all those questions, but you've been so insightful. Guys, I encourage you to reach out to her directly and to look at her skincare products to help you with any of your imbalances. I hope this was super informative, as it was for me. Thank you so much for making time, especially that it's evening time in Mumbai. I really appreciate it, Dimple.
Thank you so much. You've been such a wonderful host. I loved having this conversation with you, and I hope to host you in India very soon.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'll see you soon. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Lots of love.